Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the topic production planning and control under the subject production management, right? So here I have a PPT for this and I'm showing with the help of few slides. So first is what is production planning? Whenever we talk about planning means what is to be done, how it is to be done, and by whom and when it is to be done. So this kind of questions are to be answered under the production planning means what work shall be done, how the work shall be done, and lastly by whom and when the work should be or shall be done, right? So production planning is basically or maybe said to be a technique of forecasting in which we have to focus about all these questions so that in the right time at the right place in the right quantity we can also utilize all the operations at the maximum efficiency and we will able to cover up our work into stipulated time, right? So the next is about the production control. Control means it is basically in the control we follow a process, right? A process which keeps a watchful eye on the production flow, or you can say size of resources along with the location or of any deviation from the present action uh, against your uh, set action what you have set and what you are doing actually if there is a deviation in that, so you have to minimize or control that flaws that lacunas from your production system. So basically control refers to ensuring that all which occurs is in accordance with the rules which are established and instructions issued by the production manager, right? So there are a few features of PPC, production planning and control. There are few features of that. That is inputs are your resources: man, material, entrepreneur, capital, land. So these are your resources. We have to make utilize of all of these. Then factors of production, again the similar item. Then division of work is necessary. Division of work means a bigger task has to be divided into, has to be divided or assigned everyone, or you can assign everyone by the supervisor to their all the employees. The task should be divided, the task should be assigned, the task should be you know a bigger task is to be divided into simple terms or into simple units. So the work should be regulated from the first stage of procuring the raw material to the last stage of the finished goods. So the questions like what, when, and how it is to be manufactured are decided, right? So the next is what are the aims and objectives behind the production planning and control. So first is we have to determine the sequence of operations for continuous production. That's why we need to have the PPC program, right? So we have to plan about the plant capacity, right? Capacity means how much units we have to produce in the future or we are producing. Suppose if we are producing 25 goods per week, but immediately the demand has increased for 50 goods, for example. So we need, maybe we can go for increasing our variable cost, like by the day and night shifts, by employing extra labor we can do that. But if the demand is permanent for few weeks, for few months, then we have to change our plant capacity. We have to hire some new machines, some new assets, like. So this is the planning the plant capacity. Then issuing the coordinated work schedules to the concerned persons. No doubt we have to give the work to the concerned persons who are actually involved in this work. Then we have to maintain the sufficient inventories, which is the most important feature, objective also, because if the inventories are in sufficient quantity, there is a smoothen flow of production, right? So we have to evaluate the performance of the workshops also, and we have to maintain the production schedules to ensure the delivery at the proper time, right? And the next one is we have to do Why means why there is a need. So what is the importance behind that? So there is very less difference between aim and objectives and need or importance. But still, I have classified into two areas. Then there is a need or importance of PPC because of number one reason is for increasing production. No, main purpose of production planning is to range the inputs, right? To range the inputs, to range the resources. Then production program, control program means we have to minimize the idleness, right? We have to minimize the wastage. We have to minimize the waste time of workers also and machinery also. So it does helps in raising the industrial. Both of the concept helps to raise the industrial output, right? Second one is for coordinating plant activity in planning production. It is carried out within a number of processes, a number of systems are required, a number of steps are required. So all these activities are synchronized for smooth working. That's why we need PPC, right? So what are the areas of production control? This is a very important topic under the PPC. So we have to first make a master schedule. After making a master schedule, we have to segregate into uh, manufacturing schedule and subsidiary orders. Then routing, scheduling, dispatching, expediting, and tool keeping, we will discuss later on about these areas of production control. So for cost control, we need that PPC. For rationalization of production activities, we need the PPC. So for cost control means a proper planned system of production will be helped in the controlling cost by not only making fuller utilization of inputs but also by increasing the output, right? So by why we need PPC means for rationalization of production activities. Means in production planning, what happens, the process of entering of raw material and the conversion activity, we have to plan in such a way that everything should be done in the sequence or in the routine manner, which should regulate the flow of inputs to run the production system smoothly, right? So there are a few limitations of this. That is, it's based on an assumption. So sometimes the assumptions may prove wrong. So the process of PPC will go weak in that case. Rigidity means under PPC, there are rigid behavior of few employees, so which may interrupt the smooth and flow of work. So these kind of reasons could be there. Then difficult for smaller firms. So sometimes it becomes difficult for smaller firms to adopt this in the very particular manner. It's costly also because it's a costly device actually, as you know its implementation requires separate persons to perform functions of planning, expediting, dispatching, etc. So sometimes it may prove costly. Then dependence on external factors. External factors like some natural calamities, change in the technology, government control, you know these reduce the effectiveness of production planning. Next is elements of production planning. There are elements like planning, routing, scheduling, dispatching, follow up, and inspection. So the first is planning. No doubt we have to plan about each and every activity in advance, that we have done also earlier also, that we have to see about how many equipments are required, how many labor is required, how many machineries are required. We have to plan about the capacity of the production also. So there are so many activities involved, and we have to decide in advance that what is to be done in particular future. And routing means we have to determine, we have to classify the exact path by which the particular system should be followed in production. It means the selection of the path from where each unit have to pass before reaching the final stage. It means suppose there are four stages of production: A to B, B to C, C to D, right? So for every kind of A to B, B to C, C to D kind of production, so we have to make a route chart. A route sheet is to be prepared, which should specify the flow of sequence of processes, flow of sequence of equipment, material, operations in a particular manner, right? So next is this is the routing procedure, that we have to decide what parts are to be made or purchased. Number one, this is the most important. Then we have to determine materials, what kind of materials are required, equipments are required. Then we need to determine the manufacturing operations and the sequencing. Then no doubt we have to determine the lot sizes. Then we have to determine about the scrap factors. We have to analyze the cost of the product. Then we have to prepare the production control forms, right? So scheduling means while going for the routine, we have to fix a stipulated time for that. So scheduling means determination of time that should be required to perform each operation, and also the time necessary to perform the entire series as routed. And we have to make allowances for all the factors concerned, right? So there are few types of schedules. Master schedule is prepared, manufacturing schedule is prepared, detailed operation scheduling is there. Dispatching means finally, uh, it's a process of actually ordering the work to be done, which involves putting the plan into effect by issuing orders. It is concerned basically with the starting the process and operation on the basis of route sheets and schedule charts. Means now finally we have to dispatch the products, right? So the products are ready to be dispatched from maybe one department to another department, maybe from the godown to the market. Then these are the dispatching procedures. Centralized means under the one area, which helps in exercising effective control. Then decentralized dispatching means under this procedure, all work orders are issued to the foreman or dispatch clerk. Means it is sort of liberty is there. It suffers. It may this kind of system may suffer from the difficulties to achieve the coordination among different departments. And the next is, excuse me. Yes, the next one is uh, this is follow up. Follow up means now we have to see either the everything is being done according to our production process, according to our what we have thought. We have to follow up that. Means progress may be assessed with the help of routine reports or communication with the operating departments. The follow procedure is used for expediting and checking the progress. Means we have to see that whether the production is being done according to what you have standardized or not. So last one is inspection. Inspection means no doubt we have to ensure also that the products are manufactured or of requisite quality or not. It's of up to date mark or not. They are of quality wise or not. It means it is undertaken both of products and inputs also. It is carried on at various levels of production process so that predetermined standards of quality are achieved. So inspection basically ensures the maintenance of predetermined quality of products. So that's all about the today's lecture. Thank you.